All right. All right, here we go. Man, ENDP ended up with a massive day yesterday. 30%. Shoot. We saw the thing open at 14 bucks. Big update is 16 bucks. All right, so let's go on with market movers this morning. Still earnings season. Everyone's kind of waiting for their stock to pop. Do you guys have any stocks you're looking at? Or let's see what's popping this morning. Let's take a look over here. Let's look at KBSF. A big little nothing stock with quite a bit of volume. Let's see if there's anything that we know about. Yelp, up 18%. That's something to, or 15%. That's something we know about. 44. Breaking over the 50-day moving average. All right, cool. BEL, BNTC, OXBR, HJLI, DNB, Dun & Bradstreet, Dun & Bradstreet. Yeah, they're not a massive growth company. What's up, Paul? T-Con, almost $3. Hey, Christina. Very close to that trend line. Very, very close to that trend line. Small market cap coin, though. Stock coin. We mentioned Yelp, SND, BNED. Sale point to 28. Okay. CVNA. Carvana. You guys have seen the commercials for there's a very big cup with Hannah right there at 25 that I missed. I guess I never even knew about Carvana. And then there was a second stage base. And now this is kind of a bit long in the tooth for Carvana. See a very big cup here with a pretty big handle. Still valid. There's your breakout. Does 20%. Actually goes past 20%. Bases again. Now what we have is a well less formed, but pretty sloppy actually third stage base in Carvana. And they're at 53, so they're well above. Carvana's well above highs. See what they're saying about Carvana on the news. Sub Zizo. You know, Zizo, I'm not sure, to be quite honest with you. I think you can probably start some kind of a business in the U.S. to do that, since you're not a naturalized citizen. But you probably would have to pay taxes on that business as well as taxes in Italy. But I'm sure there's probably some other, maybe the German stock market. I believe Italy's still in the EU. So you may be able to trade over there, and you can use a lot of these same principles, and we can look the stocks up on TradingView. So if you want to do it, if you want to start trading stocks, let me know. And there's ways to do it. But like I said, I think trading stocks in the U.S. you probably have to open a business, and then you'd pay taxes on those gains and taxes again in Italy. So I'm not sure if that's a lot to go through for kind of like learning, if you will. Like if you're established, then you find you would just do it. But we can look that up in a little bit here. I want to check out Carvana. Wow, big raise from a lot of analysts for whatever reason. Looks like they had earnings out overnight. 8.8 aftermarket, okay. Pre-market, after hours. Yeah, so Carvana up to 54. I'm not mad at that at all. Let's see what Investors Business Daily has to say about them. Composite rating at 66. Relative strength so is 99. They've been in the top 1% of top performing stocks all year this year. So that's really good. Industry group ranked as 19, which is excellent. EPS change negative 46. Is that from last quarter or is that this quarter? Oh yeah, could be. Well, either or, I guess. So here's third quarter, 28, and the loss deepened to negative 41. So I'm not quite sure how that works out, but sales up 127%, 3-year growth rate of 154%. If the company's pre-profitability, you really have to look for sales since there's no earnings to guide you. 26% in change of funds owning stock. So there's quite a few people running into Carvana. 6.6 billion market cap, 1.9 up down ratio, B+ accumulation rating. Most of the stuff's pretty good there. Very low debt for a retail car company, 39%. That's pretty low. And basically everyone doubled their estimates, so I'm going to add them to my list here. This may be one company that gaps and goes. Pretty nice accumulation on that upswing. Look at all that green volume. Very nice. And very slow volume. Since we made this high here, the volume's dried up quite nicely, well under average. And then it picked up at the bottom here, which is nice. That's actually sellers, and sellers stop. When sellers stop selling is when you see that. Supporting above the 50-day, very healthy. And at 53, we're well into new highs. 53.88, as a matter of fact. So your buy point here, you're already gapping past where you're able to technically buy this stock. Technically, it's buyable up until come on. Trying to get this thing to go to 5%. Trying to get it to go to 5% just won't do it. on. Man, 52.43. So that's kind of your let's put an alert there. I don't really have any more cash to invest, but we'll put an alert right there. Me and Tone Vase have the same conclusion about the market, but using different methods, but both have a real. What can sound cruel to dreamers? Do you use sequential too? Um, what do you mean by sounding cruel to dreamers? Are you looking for the market to break for a better entry point? And then, no, I don't use sequential. Ted, new granddaughter. Wow, that's that's a long drive, my friend. Did you have advance warning, or is she born premature, or why are you rushing home so fast? Hope she's cool. Hope she's okay. My my wife's coworker or ex coworker, they're still friendly though. Just had a baby at like half term. It's like 29 weeks. And I think 39 weeks is considered premature. She's at 29 weeks. So, oh, okay, they did take it out early. Okay. Okay, well, sounds like everything's good then. The doctors knew about it, got it under control. So, hopefully everything's okay. I think it'll be good, Ted. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic. I can't even imagine the feelings. I've got a 4 and a 7-year-old, so I'm too busy yelling at them to think about grandkids yet. But that's awesome. Yeah, 2 weeks early is not too bad these days. That's not bad. I don't think that's bad. They have babies at like 35 weeks, and that they have the facilities to deal with those babies pretty much in every city in the United States of America, probably all over the world too these days. Well, westernized world at least. But cool, good job. That's awesome. That's really good. All right, so let's see what other news articles we got up here. Now yeah, that's good, Ted. I'm doing the same thing with my kids. Um, Actually, this year I haven't set them up yet. I was thinking about it. I should probably do it really quick. I'm going to set up a Roth IRA for my children, and I'm going to set. They already have their grandparents already have college basically taken care of. I mean, it's not. Look, if they want to be brain surgeons, they're probably going to have to carry some debt. But if they want to be like some kind of a like an engineer, they'll probably be okay for about 60 to 70, 80% of it. And then I'm going to start a Roth IRA, so hopefully by the time they turn 18, they'll have some money. Oh, gotcha, Zizo. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I actually don't watch a lot of Tone stuff, but I know a lot of the guys in the Slack chat room, so I get some of the updates. But yeah, I don't think he's a bear. I'm not. And you're right. I'm not a bear. I'm just a realist. I go with the markets. That's what you have to do. You can't. It's not like you pick one side or the other. Okay, that's not the way this. That's not the way the markets work. You have to understand what the market is doing in order to take profits and in order to invest at a proper time. Otherwise, then you're going through life blissfully uneducated. And then you have to ask yourself, is going through life blissfully uneducated generally a good thing or generally a not good thing? So, Eli, can you explain how you manage your positions? Do you review them every day? How do you get out? So, yeah, let's actually I haven't done that yet today. Uh, There we go. So yeah, I mean, you always want to keep an eye on your positions. You know, you always want to do that. I've got actually too many positions right now. Not all of them working out favorably. Some of them working out favorably, but you want to give them a little bit of time to work. So I've got FFIV right now. So this nothing to do with this one at all. Had a good day yesterday. Increased volume after earnings. Nothing to do there. I've got Fizz. So I've had Fizz for a while, and I've had Fizz since the breakout of this declining trend line here. And nothing to do here. Things look pretty good. We have kind of a symmetrical triangle forming. It's trying to poke out of it. And so all's looking well. Their volume is declining, so not too much selling. Let's look at Generac. Generac looking good. Still holding up in this consolidation. Kind of a big distribution day yesterday, but price never undercut any lows. So we'll have to see how that works out. I am in here, and yesterday I was thinking about what I'm going to do with here, and I haven't made a decision yet. So it's not undercutting any major points of resistance yet. It's still above the 10-day moving average. It's still above the 50-day moving average. So far I'm hanging with it. It's kind of waiting, So, had a big day here on earnings reversal, but there's also quite a bit of support here as well. Quite a bit of support here, but it is starting a small downtrend. I'm not sure if we do another curl up and maybe respect one of these trend lines here, or the 50-day could get all the way back to the 50-day, which is down here. But for right now, I'm kind of waiting, maintaining judgment. Patience is key when you choose to enter into a position. I think here's an extreme growth stock in a very interesting space, the gaming space. And so it may not do a whole lot until next earnings, to be quite honest with you. It may not do a whole lot until earnings next time around. That's kind of been a little bit of the some of the market has done this where it's had earnings and just gone flat for a while. Apple tends to do that quite often. I read an article in IBD about that yesterday. But I've noticed the same thing, that when you have huge gaps that go sideways, here didn't have a huge gap, but it has been in a pretty big uptrend. So from 20 to 35 bucks, that's a pretty big uptrend. And so it's probably due some kind of a pause. So I think you give it a little bit of space. Yeah, I'm not happy with Twitter, Eli. I'm not happy at all. But I have till January on that, and I'm not quite sure. We'll get to Twitter. That's actually, I think, the last one on my list here. So I got into cores yesterday, managing this position. We'll see how it goes. It had a good close. I'm not mad at it at all. Volume was good. I wish it would have closed above the $70 level. Looks like it was $70.01, but that's not, you can't really write home about that. Technically, 70.10 would be your buy point per IBD methodology. So close below the buy point on from a technical perspective. Yeah, it's crazy. Now I did not get into boot yesterday. I do like it, however. Beautiful cup with handle, flat stage base cup with handle here. Looks really nice. Second stage base breakout. This thing will probably do very good, but the options were too expensive in it. I really couldn't take a position. PKG is another one I have. This was a bottom buy, so I have to give this quite a bit of time. So as long as it's not... Actually, I don't have an alert down here. So as long as it's not undercutting this level, I'm okay with it. I'll keep that top one in case it starts to move. But yeah, so it can have quite a bit there going on. Or it can have a long time until it breaks out. So I'm hoping it comes up here and breaks out, and maybe breaks out in November or December, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, Regeneron is a stock that I bought the day before yesterday, and it pretty much killed me yesterday. Big gap down for, I couldn't even find a reason for it. So you can see there we broke up out of this wasn't quite a base. This was a consolidation, but it had a very good breakout, a very nice declining volume. This day had very, very low volume, which I took as bullish action, and then a big gap down yesterday, and I'm still not quite sure why. Yesterday, the only thing was that there wasn't anything specific on Regeneron. It was just, so yeah, that news article is really nothing. It just has percentage movers. I don't even know why they put it out there. But a big gap down, so I'm going to give it some time to come back, probably fill the gap. We'll see how it reacts in the next day or two, and then I'll make a decision if I'm going to cut this or not. So TTMI is another one that I have. So this thing has a very large cup with handle right here, very big cup. Nicely formed handle here. Failed breakout, but it's not really breaking down. So I kind of bought it on a bit of a bottom buy situation, a bit of a, not a bottom buy, but a pullback. So here's your 50-day moving average. Here's your 200-day moving average and your 10-day moving average. And I kind of bought it on a pullback to the 50-day after it broke it pretty definitively on earnings with volume on this day. I bought it on the pullback. I think I bought it here. Great question, Christina. You pretty much have to, per rules, you pretty much have to get rid of it. You have to sell it. Whether you sell it after hours or you wait till the market open, that's really up to you. But usually you want to wait till the market opens because sometimes they can gap down and then come back higher. It depends on the market situation, to be quite frank with you. So it won't automatically trigger a stop loss until the market open, however. But TTMI looking pretty healthy there. I like the action. And then we're getting to Twitter, which I do not like the action in, and I'm not all too happy about it. So Twitter's already come down from the top about 34%. It really shouldn't go much lower. If it goes much lower, it's pretty much going to kill any kind of really base for the rest of the year outside of another earnings announcement and a big gap up, which I don't believe you can really count on. So there's a long-term trend line that actually broke, which I haven't drawn until now. So maybe it goes down to 25. But 200-day moving average gap down well below the 50-day moving average. That is a huge no-no. And yeah, just bad stuff happens. So to be quite honest with you, I would avoid Twitter. I probably should sell Twitter. Probably long past should have sold Twitter, but there's a lapse in judgment holding through earnings. Felt really good about Twitter based on, holding it since February and it being up so much. I mean, a little bit of distribution. I wasn't really mad at this one candle still within the base. So, is what it is, guys. You just got to trade the next one. If you make a mistake, you rectify your mistake, and then you go on to the next trade, put that money to work somewhere else. And so I'll probably have to do that with Twitter here shortly. But I have this until January, so I'm kind of giving it a little bit of time. And I was hoping it was going to kind of throw back like Facebook did, but Facebook had a pretty good day the other day, up about 5 or 6% right here. Twitter not so much. Twitter happy in its little bear flag. So a difference between a market leader in Facebook and a market laggard, which is Twitter. And that just is what it is. And then my other holdings are index holdings, and those are a majority of my holdings right now. I don't see anything matching my market style extremely well, so I'm keeping a majority of my funds in my index funds. Index funds. So yeah, and there's Facebook. My water's empty, guys. I'll be right back. Let me go fill this thing up. All right, I'm back. It's like Bitcoin's about to drop the bottom out of it. Maybe not. I think it has a little more basing too. I actually thought it was going to break out of this little flat top here. It looks like it tried, but just failed miserably after coming and testing this level. Yeah, this is not good action for Bitcoin. Not good action. Hyper. Oh, okay. All right, let's check out the general markets. We got market opening in about 3.5 minutes. S&P 500 knocking at all-time highs. We're gonna get there. Just a matter of time. Volume pretty well declining though. You see this huge volume wicks down here. Hey Christian, I covered Boot a little bit. There's not a lot to do with Boot's fine. I believe it's past its buy point. Its buy point was right at that line, so okay, so it's still within buy range. It's up 4.49%. I really, really, really like this. Ooh. Don't drink water while doing a live stream. Man. I think Boot is fantastic from a technical perspective. So here's a longer term downtrend. You can see the moving averages really chopping up and trending down. You have a big breakup here. Here's your first stage base. There's a cup with a handle. Here's a second stage base, and it just broke out from that second stage base. So I think Boot is really good, and it looks like it just broke out. Volume is healthy. There's no negative signs here. It looks like earnings were good. Tremendous earnings, as a matter of fact. So going from last year's third quarter, 24 cents this quarter, 3 cents last quarter. So a tremendous EPS increase, earnings per share increase, and very good technicals. I'm really liking Boot. Boot looking very good. Let's see if IBD's got Boot updated. 98% composite rating, 98% relative strength rating. I mean, just outperforming 98% of the stocks in the market. I mean, 700% EPS growth. This thing's ridiculous. This thing is awesome. 80. Oh, okay, that's a debt ratio. Only a 746 million market cap. It's a very, very small market cap company. This thing could get going. I think this thing could get going. Sorry, I'm trying to tighten up my mic here if you hear any weird sounds. But yeah, I think A- accumulation distribution. It's just everything about it is good, and there's only upside for this thing. There's nothing indicating right now that we have any kind of downside momentum really building up. The sales could grow a little bit more, only 16% sales growth, so I guess that would be a notch in the belt to the downside. The ROE is a little low at 10%. Actually, that's really low. You'd like it over 25%. But not every perfect stock moves, and not every stock that's perfect moves. So you kind of go with what it is, and that's really good EPS growth. Yeah, and so technically you're going to be out of buy range once it's up 5% from your breakout point, which is the 25.50 level, give or take. So you're going to have to probably jump on that fairly soon. Oh, looks like the market just opened. What do we have? Oh, yeah, Roku had earnings yesterday. Not sure why we didn't talk about Roku, but Roku had earnings yesterday. It's up 11%, gapping up from a pretty nice level there. So it's hard to trade at the market open because a lot of weird things happen. A very fast initial volume, but Roku well over well over highs here. Or I shouldn't say, I should just say over highs. But that's good. This could be one of those that goes up 19% today and then sits there for 3 years. Not exactly, but you kind of get what I'm talking about. Funk, Huya up 2%. I want to put that Huya trade on, Eli. So we'll see what happens though. See if I had Roku on my watch list. I do not have it on my watch list currently. But if you look at Roku, it's going, guys. Roku's a good one. Roku is a good one. Got it up to 58. Yeah, see the very, very rich options. Extraordinarily rich. Yeah, even getting back to all-time highs, you're not doing good. So, but just from a stock perspective, that's pretty good. I guess it's only 10% up there. So Roku looks like it's going to have a great day so far. So far, we'll see what happens. A lot of trickery happens within the first half hour. And there's Boot. This is a 5-minute chart of Boot. Already trying to go for the gold. I like Boot. Regeneron down another 2% today so far. Still no earnings on, no news on that move. That's not really very good. 50-day support coming up right here. I may have to cover Regeneron. If it undercuts this low here at the undercuts right here, I'm gonna have to get out. That's gonna be my level. So right there, Thinkorswim throwing some stuff at me. What do we got? Oh, that was an at or above. I thought I did at or below. Must have misclicked there. Okay, so at or below there for Regeneron. CVNA, an alert went off on CVNA. Oh, that's Carvana. When did I put an alert on Carvana? Man, I was on top of something. All right, so let's go through these movers here today. So we've got Roku up on earnings, which is good. Carvana up on earnings, which is good. ZTO trying to get to a potential breakout point on earnings, so that's healthy as well. ZTO, we haven't really looked at ZTO, and I haven't checked them out in a while. So let's go double check what ZTO is. %, composite rating, 87 relative strength, so that's healthy. Ranked first in its group, so that's good. Fundamentals are very, very important to stocks. You really have to know what the fundamentals are, if they're healthy, if the company's growing. And it looks like ZTO is selling off, so is Carvana. What's Roku? Is that selling off? Not selling off, but it's not rocketing, getting a bit of distribution here. On my list, we've got, this is my list down here. These are kind of the ones that I like a little better. This is my general watch list. But you never know which one's going to pump on any given day. So AZPN on earnings, new highs. There you go. Cron actually up a little bit. Ubiquity Network, Emmys, which has been hit a lot lately. Okay, so here's Hertz, had a big day the other day. Huge day. And then pulling back in a little bit. Here's up a little bit. Look at that nice little flag it's putting in now. This is why you don't arbitrarily. Well, this is Funko. Darn it! By the time I look at it and click on it, it's gone. It happened again. Where'd it go? Son of a. Okay, I have no idea where I am. Here, dropping lower. Okay. There we go. But yeah, I have this thing sorted by percentage, so if things pop up. I wish it had a better visual indication of what was moving. Like it stayed green for a couple seconds or something. So here's cores, which we got into yesterday, popping up, which is good. Obviously, popping up is good. You know, you got to give things time to work out, guys. CRISPR pulling back to the 200-day moving average. Very interesting down here. It's not above the 50 days, so I'm not massively interested. This could take quite a few months, maybe the rest of the year, for this to go back to highs. But you know, that's why you have this global watch list, so you don't miss on things that are having big moves. Like such as CRISPR. CRISPR is one of those that had a huge move. Look at that, from $20 up to $70. Now it's consolidating for the first time in a while. Down 38%, so it's a little deep to form a good cut base. 33% is the max you want to see. So there's Melly, actually coming out really strong. Was that earnings overnight? 8 after. Yeah, so earnings were last night. And we have Melly here. Big outside day. Volume kind of light so far. I'm not quite sure how to feel about that deep down in my bones. Not quite sure how to feel about that. But, you know, just wait on this one. See if it gets going. Yeah, volume not that aggressive. Carvana looks like it's selling off here. Just going through my watch list. Twilio up pretty good. I did not buy Twilio, but holding its gap very nicely. You can buy Twilio's buyable over the top of the gap here, or if it undercuts the gap, it's also buyable at the bottom of the gap on a way back up. Hertz is acting really healthy. I don't mind Hertz down here. Looks like Boot's up 2%. So don't forget to get into Boot. I should have made this big a long time ago. Weibo. I've had this downward sloping trend line on Weibo. Had earnings yesterday with a negative reaction. This is a gap and crap by definition. Look at that. Started here, went up, then failed right at $90 all the way down to $80. So that's not very friendly. Not very friendly, Weibo. Grub. I clicked on Grub inadvertently, which is good. I don't know, Eli. That's a huge spreadsheet. That's a huge spreadsheet. There may be a different way to manage that than a spreadsheet. I have a hard enough time going through this with earnings and everything. To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of that. So there's Roku rocketing with the winner of the day so far. ZTO, CVNA. I mean, we can try, but I mean, I've got my little watch list down here. Remember, there's generally 3. I mean, yeah, we can. It takes so much time to facilitate the spreadsheet, like during the power hour. It's easy these days due to the fact that everything looks like garbage. But if everything's mixed like in the stock market here, I mean, I think this is the watch list. I can export it if you would like it, but this isn't. This is kind of my universe of stocks, and this is kind of my galaxy, which makes up my watch list here. Okay, so AZPN. We got CAR. We got GLOG. Hertz is looking pretty good here for possibly breaking out of that long-term trend line. Yeah, I mean, if there's a tool that makes it really easy, because here's the thing, like if I have to maintain it on my other screen and scroll through things over here and things are jumping around and I got to make notes, that's a lot of. We're gonna be here for like 3 hours. I can't do 3 hours in the morning. I gotta get my kids to school. Pretty much right after I'm done with this event. All right, what's here doing? Up a little bit. Keep going up. Just keep doing that, and I'm happy with you. So I go through my watch list. We got, okay, here up 2%. We got Twilio. So I do not have a position in Twilio, but I really do like Twilio. MTCH. I do not have a position in Match, but I really like Match. This thing killed earnings. Killed earnings. This is not FIVN. Is it? Okay, I guess it is. I do not have a position in FIVN either. Here's FFIV. Rallying pretty nice. Good day yesterday. Well after earnings, so it's moving up and out of this little consolidation. And PKG maintaining, so that's good. Kind of looks like a mini bear flag though. We'll see if it has another leg lower or it continues higher. Something like this. And then we got T-Mobile. I did not get into T-Mobile. Yesterday was a good day to get in. We didn't really cover it yesterday, though. See the pullback beneath the trend line there. Came back up pretty good. But yeah, T-Mobile there looking really good, breaking over those highs. We got Generac still basing in that little area. We got Fizz only down a little bit. Regeneron coming up, looks like it's getting supported, so that's good. So, you don't want to freak out on your stocks when they go against you. You want to give them a little bit of time, find some support, and then just kind of do that. PKG is too chopped to be a flag. What are you talking about? Inside the base, anything can happen. That's a big base right there. You got a nicely well-defined bottom at 108.30 cents. That is absolutely a flag. Yeah, what kind of garbage? You know what? I think subconsciously I didn't put Twitter up here just because I have a position in Twitter and it should be on here. So you can see Twitter right there, coming down to the low part of the flag and bouncing. So far, so good. I kind of would anticipate a spike below this just to shake a bunch of people out. See, the whole thing is I don't think Twitter's dead. But this is not good technical action. Like from a fundamental standpoint, I don't see why Twitter's hurt so much. It's not. I don't quite see it. Now, from a growth standpoint, let's see what IBD has to say about it. 91%, 92% relative strength, 91% composite ranking. Match is ranked above Twitter in terms of its score. 113% EPS growth rate. Sales 24%, so not as aggressive on sales, but still good. 24% is good. Pre-tax margin 21%. That's could be much better for a software company, but that's still good margin. 4 quarters of increasing fund ownership. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Twitter. Let's take a look at some of the big ones out there. Let's take a look at Facebook. Let's take a look at Google, Apple, all sitting there towards all-time highs. Amazon making all-time highs. What else do we got here that could be going into all-time highs? Netflix is another big one. So Netflix had that big reaction to earnings. Kind of one of the first FANG stock to go, had that huge reversal day and subsequently breaking down a little further. So it looks like it's doing a very nice base here for potential entry actually. As a matter of fact, this may not be a horrible entry. You can see right here it came back to a prior breakout point, basically paused, and although it did break the 50-day on massive volume, it also actually it never broke the 50-day on massive volume. It broke it and came back through it. So this was the break of the 50-day technically, and the volume, while high, was not super aggressive. So this is probably just a base for Netflix. So if you want to maybe place a bet for this to get back towards highs, maybe at some point in the first or second quarter of next year, if you're into bottom buying, let's see kind of see what that looks like. All-time highs is 420. That looks okay, not great. Not super duper. And super duper is a technical term. Very, very technical term. So third quarter next year, just for it to get back into highs, about a 20% increase, so that's good. Don't believe any analyst, Christian. None of them. There's very, very few that are probably good. The only problem is that from time to time, I'm sure they have to take one for the team and put out some viewpoint they don't actually believe in. Analysts are garbage. Avoid them all. I mean, like, we saw a flurry of analysts come out with, wasn't Roku. Which one was it that was gapping up? Oop, Melly. Oh, there's Melly right there. Oh, man. Remember we saw Melly earlier right here? And that volume just came in, just took it right up. That was my alert level on Melly. I can't do anything with it, but we did notice Melly having a nice big outside day and a huge move just now. So definitely still in a bull market, ladies and gentlemen. Getting a nice pause here, but it is what it is. Big buy in BTC. Oh, wow. Yep. There you go. Going to start that base. Yep, there's that big base. See this channel? I've had this channel drawn here for 2 or 3 days in Bitcoin. Kind of funny how it basically hit it. Well, the reason, Christian, is because they're stupid. That's pretty much the reason. Think of it this way. Who are the analysts on Wall Street? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, UBS, other large institutional banks. Why would an institutional bank publicly analyze a company? What is their financial benefit to that analysis? Did you pay for that? I don't think you paid for that. But in a way you pay for that, because when you buy that, you're probably selling it to the analyst parent company. So here you go. Target raised at KeyBank after earnings. Why does KeyBank put this? Why do they put this out publicly? Why do they put it out publicly? They shouldn't. This is probably a lot of these smaller companies. Like I've never heard of KeyBank, but they probably put these out just so institutions will pay them for their analysis, right? But if you listen to the big guys, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all of those guys, they basically put that analysis out there to do the opposite of what they say in that report. It's complete fabrication. And even if it is even if it is good, who cares? Because you should have already done your due diligence. If you want to read the analyst report, that's fine, but go back and follow up with your own due diligence. You can pretty much only trust your own research. And I really wouldn't trust anyone's research unless, like Eli said, you're paying for it. Unless you actually bought a good, which you're not gonna to buy an earnings report. I don't know what it is, but it's not going to be $20. Like for a good earnings report, usually these analyst companies, they'll charge the institutions huge money, just massive money per month or per year. They won't just sell them like one report. I'm sure if you wanted to buy their analysis on Roku, they'd probably sell it to you for like $5,000, right? But generally, it's going to be like a service, an ongoing, continuing service where you get access to all their analysis. But for guys like you and me that just see it on the news, there's no value to anyone putting out analysis other than them taking a contrary position. I really like Twilio up there. Twilio looks super healthy. $10K for 1 hour talk. Let's get into that business, Eli. Let's get into that business. Shutterstock. I really like. I was really looking at a position in Shutterstock yesterday. Where is it? There it is. I never followed up on it. Shoot. Shutterstock. We should do our own analysis. 215. 55. I got no money left. Oh, actually, I guess I do have a little bit of money left. Are you freaking kidding me? My brokerage doesn't have the expiration date I want for my option, so screw it. I do a lot of buying. Where's my selling? Why would I sell, Christian? I'm looking to my job is to make gains, so I'm going to stay in my positions until I'm either stopped out or I have gains. It's pretty much what it is. I've only been up here like a week anyways, so it's not a long enough cycle to see me have some sells. But no, I haven't. I don't think I've sold anything in a while. Let's see, last thing I sold. I took some extra cash and I put it in TQQQ yesterday. The last thing I sold was Etsy. I sold Etsy the other day. That's right. Where's my sales? I sold Etsy up here at 40 something. I think right about here. I sold Etsy on this big gap day. So there's a sell. If you're looking for a sell, that was a good one. I sold Facebook, which actually was a loss. This was a stupid trade. This is not my style trade. I actually bought it here and sold it down here, or was it this day? Yeah, I sold it here, and then I bought it over here. That was a bit of a loss actually. Yeah, Etsy was a good exit. Etsy was a good exit. Those are my last two sells. That's what shows up on my screen here. And then, yeah, I went through a period recently where I was disobeying my style of trading and just trying stuff. Basically a boredom trade. And don't like boredom trades at all. Boredom trades are not good. Oh, there you go. Carvana came back. Very nice. Good volume right there. See if it continues. Carvana. Twilio, kind of the leader of my thing today. Very good. I really like this. If you view this, because this is a gap, but if you view that as an actual day, like an actual day where it goes all the way through, this is very healthy action in Twilio. I really like the Twilio chart. 22% on cores. Nice. What are they doing? 35%. Why are you complaining about that? Why'd you get out? Oh, short-term option. Short-term option. That's why. Okay. Yeah, I've actually been hawking this Michael Kors breakout for several months now. Not extensively, but it's been on my watch list, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, Michael Kors. Can't forget about Michael Kors. I wonder what... Hey man, I'm not mad with a 35. That's awesome. 35% gain on Kors is fantastic. All right, so I'm okay in Kors. I could be heavier. I didn't have enough cash at the time. Otherwise, I would be heavier. They're just selling this big spike down on the 5-minute chart. Can't blame you too much. Oh, looks like Fizz is taking out or trying to take out a level there. Come on, Fizz. Come on, Fizz. If they can break that 110, Fizz is going to get going again. Back up towards that 115 level. And this is why you have to be patient with your stocks. You have to let them go, guys. You have to be patient to get in, and then when you finally get in, you have to be patient to let them work. This isn't a thing where they work instantly. All right, you don't even have to hawk these charts, you know. Oh, limit order? Good job. That's awesome. I like it. Yeah, take those profits, man. I'm going to do much better with that myself. My Twitter position was probably textbook on how to mishandle a position. Yeah, I don't know if that's such a good thing. After, yeah, I thank you for helping me with that. I truly do. At the same time, I'm not quite sure how good of a thing that is. FFIV, pretty small position FFIV, but it's working. I bought it 2 days ago, right on that trend line towards the close of the day. So, hopefully it's pretty good. Yeah, the problem now, Eli, is that I'm fully invested, and I took a couple. I wasn't super happy with the Regeneron trade. Like I wasn't super happy with taking. Like it looks really good. I bought it right there. I waited till the end of the day to see how it closed, and the volume was excellent. But it may work out fine. But this gap down's kind of screwing me a little bit here. And the problem with Regeneron is it's one of my larger positions because of the options pricing. Even though I only bought one option, it's still quite a large one of my larger positions. It's my second largest in my options on my options side. Yeah, so 5 positions is pretty much where I like to be. Exactly. 5 positions. BE, which I don't have a position in, but I love the company, Bloom Energy. If you guys don't know about Bloom Energy, let me pump them again. I'm not advocating you buy this stock right now. That's not how I roll. But man, Bloom Energy is super cool. How fuel cells work. So I'll go ahead and mute this. But essentially, what it is it's a bunch of little steel plates that they put this coating on, and then you run natural gas through it. So there's the electrolyte, your anode, your cathode. That's a steel plate right there in the middle. And then I'm sure the graphic will do it justice. Yep, special inks that coat the electrolyte. And then you basically run natural gas through it, or any other, or oil or anything like that. And that's basically it. So this guy got a patent on this and has been running this company for probably like 12 years now. But it's just so cool. All you do is you print these, like each plate makes like 1.5 volts at 1 amp or something like that. Like it has a defined rating. They just print these stupid plates and stack them. I mean, it's awesome. So if you want something 240 volts, you put enough plates in there. If you want bigger amperage, you put more plates in there. It's super, super cool. Pretty much done with the video there. And that's about it. And I've actually been waiting for them to come out with residential, which they always say they're going to come out with, but they still don't. So, is what it is. But I do love Bloom Energy as a company, and their technology is really cool. So market's doing good today. Let's go back. We're actually looks like our hour is up here. Let's check it out. We got Roku, Carvana, which we've been hawking since the open, came all the way back down. Now all the way back up. I don't think Roku ever pulled back in. Not really from the breakout point. Look at the volume, already very, very high. This may actually start and stop this move. Usually when volume's too high, it means that a lot of people have gotten in. There's no one left to buy, so it kind of stalls for a while and goes sideways. I think that's one of the downfalls to the algorithmic trading of the market these days, is most of the moves happen on like day one. So Melly, we noticed it here. I went to go look at some other stocks because I'm kind of doing a live stream, and it rallied up higher. I have no money to buy it, but it's doing very good. I like how Regeneron's coming back today. We got Cron, ZTO, failing, actually selling off from that trend line I have placed there. You see the distribution up here, still distributing. So that's some danger, stranger danger right there. We got Cores rocketing to 72. Nice. FSS. Exxon, XON, not Exxon, that would be XOM. It's kind of confusing if you don't know the difference between the two. Oh, what's Grubhub doing? Why do I have 1 billion? I hate this. Every time it does this. I think it's because I hit that minus thing too much there, but you can see Grubhub, big gap up, a nice pullback. You had a chance to enter. I think we talked about this a few days ago, last week. I think late last week, maybe here, we mentioned it had bottomed. Ooh, EQM. Look at that volume at these lows, guys. Look at all that volume right there. Failure to go down after earnings. Could get going here. EQM. Not my general type of buy, but it doesn't look too bad. So Boot going up pretty good here. Oh, Fizz coming to that 110 level. Let's go, Fizz. That's why you got to be patient. I've had this thing since over here, guys. You got to be very patient. I did sell. I made a bad trading decision. I sold a bunch down here. I got scared. Freaking scared. And I sold some here, but I did hold some. And then I sold some, hold some. So in time, I'll probably get back to break even in that position. There's no real reason for me to sell out of that, but that was just out of blatant fear, which was a mistake. UBNT. Huya, I'm waiting for Huya. I probably shouldn't wait for Huya. I probably should buy a little bit. No, scared is not a good place to make decisions from, Eli. Not a good place to make decisions. If I would have held that, that was a big position. That was actually a very big position in Fizz because that's my style of trade. That's what I do. Right there. Big long downtrend, a breakout. That's what I do. And I've seen this before. Not this aggressive. This was a very aggressive sell-off. Keep that in mind. This was a very aggressive sell-off. Out of a very good tape, I mean, I was extremely profitable in Fizz. Extremely profitable. I think I was up like 150% in a week. And then I sold a bunch of it, and I was up like 30%. And then, you know, it took a long time for this to come back. This is a month. Over a month. 30 bars, 42 days. That's over a month. That's a month and a week and a half. So, you know, I've been holding this thing for a while, watching it go. And, you know, you just have to be patient. The whole thesis behind this trade is that FinViz has broken its downtrend and it's starting to go back up, and that's the whole theory. So I should have stuck to that. Kind of like what I'm doing with Twitter right now. We'll see if that turns around and bites me in the butt. But yeah, you can't. You have to stick with your strategy. Otherwise, why do you have it? And so that's something that I'm going through now. I'm holding through the Twitter earnings here. I'm still undecided if that was a good or a bad decision. You know, I guess we'll see at the end how it works out. But so far, it doesn't look like a good decision. Does not look like a good decision. So, but yeah, Fizz doing good here. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. We got Twilio. Did it break? Ooh, it broke, guys. Twilio buyable today. It looks like. Let's see what happens. I got Twilio up on my screen here. Let's look at Twilio. Moving after that big gap day right there. Maybe slowing down a little bit here, but let's check it out. Okay, so Twilio broke all-time highs. This is important. Of course, I say I'm going to go, Eli, and then I'm here, right? That's how I roll. We can just go to the weekly on this. I don't think this is a thing you can do because it undercuts so deeply, but actually it probably is not a thing you can do. So something like that doesn't get you much higher. Get you to 85, which is not going to be good from an options perspective. But if this thing can get going, you could see possibly $100 Twilio. That's only 33% away from, you know, $75. And the good option there, put your break even at 88. So still pretty high. So from an options perspective, probably can't take a position. But from a stock perspective, I think Twilio is a buy. I think you can buy Twilio. Let's go see what it's doing. It may be stalling up here, so we'll see. Nope, it's going. Looks like it wants to rally. So let's see what it does here. But Twilio looking really, really good here. A lot of stocks doing good things. We got actually Fizz crawling my watch list ladder. They're getting 109.9, so Fizz doing some good things today as well. PKG up 1%. That's not bad. Still within that thing. FIVN. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Start getting the kids ready for school. See you guys in the Stocks Power Hour. See you guys later. Or the Crypto Power Hour.